All right, welcome back. Now we're about to go through, I think this is my second game pickups video. This is like all the games that I've acquired over the past about month. And this time I got a pretty big stack. I'm pretty excited. So there probably won't be any gameplay. It's just gonna be me talking. And I'm gonna try to do my best to become a master wordsmith and just wow you with my descriptions of these games to make you want to play them. You'll get to see their covers. That's pretty cool. We'll take a look. You'll have fun. Let's do it. All right, so the very first thing I'm going to talk about is this week was the big launch week of the Xbox Series X and the PS5. Now, I made the mistake of not pre-ordering because I was on the fence. I wasn't sure which one I was going to go with. So I'm not going to say it's too much of a mistake because I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to go with first. I'm going to definitely get them both eventually, I'm sure. But for this first initial jump in, I wanted to kind of pick one. And I ended up deciding to go with the Xbox, hence why I have this game right here on the floor that I'm going to show you in a second. Mainly because of just the backwards compatibility with I can use all my 360 and original Xbox, not all of them, but a good selection of them. Backwards compatible, they were just a little bit more what I wanted from a system like that. And just a lot more of the games that were coming out that were exclusive were more exciting to me, at least right now. Whatever. So like I said, don't hate me because I chose that. I'm going to get both. You know how it goes. Anyways, the first game that I got, I love this series. So good. The Yakuza series. And this is Yakuza Like a Dragon, right? So this is technically, like, numerically, I think the 7th game. But, I mean, if you include the prequel Yakuza 0, which is one of my favorite games of all time, it's so good. It's so good. Please play it. This game, though, is incredible, okay? Now, I'm only playing it on the original Xbox One over there, but I already know that when I finally get the Xbox Series X, hopefully as soon as possible, right, whenever they can restock, they're all out everywhere. I can't find it anywhere, right? I'm going to be blown away. I'm already blown away. I'm pretty sure it's projecting in 4K already on my TV. I have a 4K TV, and I know this is in 4K. That's like its big thing. Because the frame rate is pretty choppy on the basic Xbox One. It's not like unplayable, but it's definitely noticeable that it's running at like a lower frame rate, which is, expected. It's older hardware, whatever. But I'm very excited to actually play this on the new Xbox Series X. I'm pretty sure it's going to blow me away. This game is incredible. You're still in Kamurocho. You're back in, the main city of Yakuza. You get to travel around and see all the things that you've already seen and loved before, but with a new spin, new twist, fresh. It's great, right? And I was kind of worried that the new main character, was he going to be able to carry the torch and, continue on with the series after an awesome character that spans so many games like Kazuma Kiryu? And let me tell you, I'm impressed. I like this guy a lot. He's pretty cool. I really like how they turned it into a turn-based RPG, but they made it like there's a reason for it. This guy loves Dragon Quest, and he lives his life. He wants to be a hero, and so he thinks about fights in terms of like turn-based RPG Dragon Quest terms. So it's pretty cool. Like they did this whole spin on it, and there's a reason behind it why you're fighting turn-based. And I love turn-based RPGs. Basically like my favorite kind of game. So this was perfect for me. I love Yakuza, I love turn-based RPGs. I highly recommend it. It's awesome. If you like Yakuza, I mean, this is right up your alley. I mean, it's so good. And even if you don't like Yakuza, give it a shot. The series is well worth your time, let me tell you. So good. First game. Now, we're going to go ahead backwards and just trickle down. We're starting with a new system. So this has kind of been what I've been doing. Going in order from like either oldest to newest or newest to oldest. So I don't remember what I did last time, but this time we're going from newest to oldest. So here we go. Our next is we got some 360 games. The first game I got this for $3. It was awesome. I've actually never played Assassin's Creed 3. My favorite Assassin's Creed so far has been Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. However, I already know it's going to change with Valhalla. I love Vikings. My tattoos are all Viking themed. I'm very excited for that game. I'll be getting that as well. That's my purchase. I'm going to get that with the Series X. It's like, how can I not? Anyways, long story short, I've never tried this game before. I've heard mixed things if it's good or not. But $3, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's about the American Revolution. It seems pretty cool. I mean, set in that time period. You play as, I think he's like half Native American, I think. It seems like a pretty cool concept. There was a remaster, but I can just play this for $3, right? So might as well play this. And so it looks pretty interesting. I'm pretty excited to give it a shot and try it out. I have not done so yet. However, from what I'm looking at, I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be hard to go back to because it's so, the gameplay is going to be so not as conceptualized as it has become, right? Because it's an older game. So I think that I should probably play this soon before I play Valhalla. Or maybe play both, whatever. Try it out. Anyway, it's cool. $3. Couldn't go wrong. I figured, let's pick it up. $3, man. What can you do? So there you go. The second 360 game that I got is a game that I have not played before. I've actually never played any of the series, but I do like mobster movies. I like that kind of thing, right? My family's from Jersey, so it's like, how can you go wrong? So I picked up Mafia 2. I found out that's backwards compatible. They just released like a definitive edition, I think, or something like that, but I've been hearing some like mixed things about like how it's not really that great of a port or something. I don't know. I got this for like, I'm going to say somewhere between $7 and $10. I don't remember the exact price, but somewhere around there, so it's not really that expensive. You can find it pretty good priced, and I can put it on my Xbox and play it backwards compatibility. Woo! Right? So it looks pretty cool. I love that whole mafia mentality, like those kind of things, like shows or movies or books or whatever. I love those kinds of themes, so I think this is going to be really cool. I've heard some good things about it and how it's a really great story, and I love stories in video games, so I think this is going to be right up my alley. I'm very excited to check it out. So that should be cool. Mafia 2. Now, this next game I have played, and I have a lot more to talk about with this game, because this game is something that I first saw back on an original, like not original, but like an old PC back in the day, because this game is a sequel to that game. And this game is Alice Madness Returns. Now, I played this game on the 360, I think initially, or maybe it was the PS3 back then when it first came out. I don't know, one of those two systems I played it. I loved it, but I finished it on PC. However, I really wanted to get it to play it on one of my backwards compatible consoles, right? Because it is backwards compatible. So I was very excited to play it again because this game I've always thought was so cool. The concept of a different take, a darker, weirder twist on Alice in Wonderland, I always thought was so amazing. I remember when I was 11 years old, I went to my next door neighbor's house and they had a PC running and they had the original American McGee's Alice in its like little case just sitting there next to the computer because they had been playing it. And I picked it up and I was like, what is this? Because there was a picture of the Cheshire Cat, I think either on the cover or somewhere on like the back or just like this. And I picked it up and I remember thinking, wow, that looks so cool. What is that? And they let me play it. I was blown away. I was Alice, but I had this crazy knife and I was ha-ya, right, attacking. And it was blowing my mind. I was in this weird, twisted, dark world that was like inside her mind because she had like gone crazy and you're in a mental institution the whole time, right? It's crazy. This game carries the torch, but obviously better graphics, and it's so cool. I love that dark, weird twist on things. Dark and weird are usually things that I go for in media. So this game was right up my alley. This is a little bit more of an expensive game. Not like a breaking the bank expensive, but it's getting up there in price. I think you can usually find this for like, when I check eBay, it's usually somewhere around $25 to $30, which is not like incredibly expensive, but so it's getting up there. I'm assuming that means that it's a more sought after game. I don't know. But Alice Madness Returns is amazing. Yeah, I don't think you technically have to play the first game to really enjoy this. I played this game before I finished the first game. I experienced the first game a little bit as a younger person, but I finished this game before I finished completely the first game, and I had an amazing time, so I think you will too. This game originally came with the original game, like that you can get, but it was like an online code, so I doubt they work anymore. Like the one that this came with, I don't think I can even, I'm gonna try it because why not? But I don't know if it still works. We'll give it a shot, But it's okay. It's worth it just to play this game right here. Experience this Alice Madness Returns. Chop up Wonderland with your dope knife and your cool outfits you can get. You obviously get different weapons. I remember there's this one that's a pepper grinder. You grind pepper, but it shoots like a machine gun. It's awesome. Check it out. Great game. Dark, weird, cool. Alice Madness Returns. Boom. That's the 360 games. Now we're moving backwards in time to the PS2, PlayStation 2. I think the system that I own the most games for is definitely the PlayStation 2. However, I'm starting to amass a nice original Xbox and Xbox 360 collection, which is, pretty cool. But anyways, the first thing I'm going to talk about is a set of 3 games because I got these in an eBay lot. I got the lot for $5. Great deal. Great I think it was a pretty awesome deal because all these games combined are worth probably at least a good portion more than $5. So that was cool. I'll start with this game I've actually never played before, never experienced any of these games in the series. I've heard of them. It's like a real-time strategy, looks like, I guess, Asian thing. It's called Kessen. I've heard of them. I've just never played them. I love RTS games, so I figured, I mean, it was in the lot. So the lot I got was for these other two games, but this was included, and I was like, cool, I'll check it out, right? So like on the back, it talks about you're commanding thousands of troops and you're guiding them, which seems impressive and intense for like an older game. So I'm definitely excited to like check this out, try it out, and see what it actually is, because some of the pictures in the back look like, if you can see, where's the camera? If you can see like this is, I know it looks like a field, but it's filled with like little tiny soldiers, which it seems really cool. I love real-time strategy games. I'm actually a big-time Warhammer 40K fan. I play it avidly. I collect and paint and play, right? So things like this, super cool. So that was the first PS2 game that came in this lot. Pretty cool. I'm excited to check it out. I don't really have much to say because I've never experienced it, but real-time strategy game seems interesting. We'll check it out. The next one. Now, I've heard very mixed things about this, and I've always wanted to pick it up because of that. It's very anime. I'm a big anime fan, so I was like, all right, I might as well experience it. I don't know if you could really classify it as a role-playing game. I mean, that's what it says, but I've seen the combat. It's very weird. I don't know if this is a good game, but I've heard some people say it's really good. Some people love it. Some people absolutely hate it. So I'm going to check it out for myself, and I'll find out. I'll figure out if I actually enjoy it or don't. But Orphan, Scion of Sorcery, I know it's based on an anime, I think, or an anime was made about it. I think it's based on an anime series. And it seemed pretty cool, like you're playing through the story, but it looks more like an interactive like episode of a show more than it is like a walk-around kind of game. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm hearing such mixed things about this game, so I'm excited to check it out for myself and figure out what would I give it as a rating. You know, is it complete garbage trash, toss it away, or is it 5 bags of popcorn? I don't know. I'll have to find out and see. But I do know one thing. Apparently there's some kind of weird twist or something, and that's another divisive thing. Some people absolutely hate the twist. Other people, I don't really know. I've only heard that they hate it. I've heard a couple people say, man, whatever. But most people seem to hate it. I don't know. Like I said, I'll find out. So second game, throw it away. Now, this is a game that I think is more of a PC game, but got ported to the PS2. But I've heard pretty good things about it. It's more of a computer-style role-playing game, and that's Summoner. I've also never played this. My only experience with this game is that I shoot the magic missile into the darkness video that came out like, years ago. And I always thought that was pretty funny. Plus, the main character of this game has my father's name, Joseph, so that must be cool, right? I'm assuming you like summon things, but the combat style looks more CRPG-ish, like, Baldur's Gate, like, you're pausing, you're active, doing all that kind of stuff. It looks really cool. I'm excited to check this out. Plus, it was super cheap. I got $5 for all 3 of those games, so not half bad. I usually see this game going anywhere from like 7 to 12, so I got the lot mainly for this game because I wanted to check this out and try it. So I'm really excited to give Summoner a shot. I know Summoner 2 went more with like a action combat system, and this one is more refined, relaxed. I think I've heard a lot of people compare it to like Dragon Age Origins, like those kind of games. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be as streamlined because it's way older, but somewhere similar in that vein, if you can imagine. Plus, it has like a dark, weird-ish fantasy feel, which I enjoy, as I told you when we were talking about Alice. So, Summoner, PS2. Wow. That's all the PlayStation 2 games. Now I have 2 games. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I found this one. I forgot. This one was on the floor. I got this. I'm a fan of the Nipponichi games, like Disgaea series. And I saw this game on eBay for pretty cheap. And it's one of their like spin-off games. And I was like, well, let's give it a try. La Pucelle Tactics, I think it's pronounced. Very interesting. You play as like a girl who, well, I guess you play as a bunch of characters. It's a turn-based strategy, like kind of Final Fantasy Tactics-ish, but more, I guess it's more like Fire Emblem because it goes to like a cutscene kind of screen when they fight in battle. But very anime. Pretty cool. I played the first like couple of missions of it, and it was decent. It was pretty interesting. I like the art style. The voice acting is pretty good. not half bad, you know? Pretty good game. La Pucelle Tactics. I'm not as experienced with this game, but it seemed like a pretty fun time. And if you're into like anime or Nipponichi or Disgaea games or any of those kinds of things, I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to have a good time with it, especially for an older PS2 title. I was interested because I was playing, I think, Disgaea 5, and you can unlock this girl with like a DLC thing. I have the Nintendo Switch version, so I have all the DLC. And but she's like a demon lord, and I was like, what? Because, you know, the cover of this game, she's like a nun priest girl. So it seemed very interesting. So I'm curious. I know one of the endings is her becoming a demon overlord. So I'm kind of curious to see how you go from priestess to demon overlord. But I don't know. We'll find out. But like I said, the art style is pretty cool. The gameplay is very Disgaea-ish. If you've played Disgaea, you'll know what to expect. Although not as insane. There's a little bit more calmed downness to it. And I think this one's more about a more focus on the story out. At least that's what I got from the vibes when I was playing in the beginning. But it's pretty cool. Like, look at all these cute little animal creatures. You can do that. You can collect. That's like the big thing for this game is you can collect your enemies. So you can purify them, and then you can get them to join your side. That's kind of how you're recruiting more people to join you. So that was an interesting take. And like I said, the art style, pretty nice. Not half bad. The next game, now we're at the PS1. The next game is a game that I got when I was a kid. I was a huge Final Fantasy fan. I came home one day, and this was given to me as a gift. I had no idea what to expect. I popped it in. I played it. And I thought, this is cool. It's got such a unique art style and such a unique combat system for the time, and that's Vagrant Story. Now, Vagrant Story, oh man, the story to this game is incredible. The atmosphere is so incredible. It's like a dungeon delving, one of those kind of RPGs, but not at the same time. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of like Dark Souls, but with a turn-based combat system similar to Parasite Eve, where you can move around, but you're selecting different body parts to attack specifically, and then body parts are weak to different weapon types, and you have to, you know, mix and match, and you can use magic. It's a very intricate combat system that you have to really wrap your head around. But when you do, it's a really, really rewarding experience, I think. It's very narrative driven. I think it would have been even better with voice acting, but I mean, you know, that was my thoughts at the time when I was a younger kid who played, you know, Metal Gear Solid, and that blew my mind. So this game right here is a really cool experience, very cinematic. It's set in the Final Fantasy Tactics universe, I'm pretty sure, and it's just, man, what do I even say? It's such a cool, dark, twist-filled, cool game that I think you really need to experience and play for yourself to really understand what it's about. But the combat system, I thought I wasn't going to like coming back to it now, because I remember as a kid being frustrated because it was so, you had to really think about things. And it wasn't just like, you know, I pick attack and it attacks. It wasn't just I pick magic. You had to, like, you know, figure out what you're using to hit different limbs to deal more percentages of damage, and you had to maneuver yourself to not take damage, or you had to maneuver yourself in certain ways to block, and you had to attack, and all that kind of cool stuff. But coming back to it, I really appreciate it. It was so intricate and well thought out, and I like the pacing of going through each of the little rooms in the dungeon and discovering and checking things out and really moving through the story, which I think is one of the best features of this game is the story. So good. The main character is pretty cool. Crazy name. His name is Ashley Riot. Ridiculously cool name. But the experience of the game is well worth it when you really find out about the main character's backstory and what's really going on in this crazy dungeon-esque location he's exploring. I don't want to spoil anything. Well worth your time. All right, last game. One more. I actually name dropped it like a minute ago. I picked up Metal Gear Solid. Boom. Love this game. I've beaten this game multiple times. This was a game that I don't even know how to put it into words. It's this experience unlike anything else. It's like you're in a movie. This cinematic experience that Kojima put together with this game is incredible. My favorite memory is the boss fights in this game. They are so cool, so different. Man, fighting like Sniper Wolf and having to like get down. And there's so many different ways you can combat her, or of course Psycho Mantis, the most incredible boss fight I've ever experienced in my life, taking control of my controller, and I have to move the controller from one port to the other to be able to take this guy down. Oh, it blew my mind as a kid to figure all these things out, or just the intricacy of like having to find, I think, was it Meryl's codec number? It's like on the back of the case, and you have to like look for it. Oh man, it was so well thought out, so intricate. I got this for a great price. And one of the other reasons I was really drawn to this specific copy was because it came with something I'd never seen before. I know I've looked it up since then. It's not like super rare, but I've never seen it. And I'm not sure if this is actually the strategy guide. It's the unauthorized, like, game secrets book. I'd never heard of an unauthorized game secrets book, which I guess is like a walkthrough, because when I'm looking through it, there's like maps and tells you what to do, but it's like really explaining the story too as you go through, which I thought was really cool, like a cool pairing to get both of them together. And Metal Gear Solid is just, wow, it's an experience. I mean, a lot of people love the third one the best, but for me, the first one is my favorite just because of the atmosphere, the experiences I've had with it personally, so the nostalgia. But if you've not ever experienced the original Metal Gear Solid, please do yourself a favor. Check this game out, either physically, it's on PSN. You can get a virtual, I think. Maybe not anymore. I think it was only for the PS3, now that I'm thinking about it, but who knows? Find a way to play this game. I don't care how you do it. Find a way to play the original Metal Gear Solid. It is worth your time. It is so cool, so great. Solid Snake is awesome. All the characters are so good. Otacon, oh man, Gray Fox, and Revolver Ocelot. Just every interaction you have in this game is so amazing. It is like a stealth-based game. However, you can go in guns blazing if you want. You can go CQC, fight them. However, you gotta be really careful if you do that. You know, I'm not a fan really of stealth-based games, but this game, it was so amazing. I was all in. I was sneaking. I was crawling, right? When I figured out that you can use your cigarettes that you have to show the red, like the lasers, the trip lasers that were like, stuff the alarms. You can see them by smoking right there next to them. I was like, what? That's so cool, right? Just the whole concept was so immersive, and this game is an incredible cinematic experience that I highly recommend to anybody. So those are my pickups for this month. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so check it out. Check out these games, especially Yakuza Like a Dragon and Metal Gear Solid, right? All these games I recommend, those two specifically for right now, if you had to just choose two. Check them out, and of course, have a good one.